Hey everyone, TimaeuSS. Welcome to another Artery gear video. So this time it's going to be a rare live stream video recorded. And here we are with the YouTube chat, and we're going to do a Madoka showcase. So in this video, I'll go over my current build and the reasons behind my stance. And we'll go from there. But funny thing first, when I did my initial Madoka pulls, I did pity a lot, but I miscalculated the amount of Madokas I needed, and when I was using Bonbon, I accidentally screwed up, and now I have an extra Madoka. So I have the God Doka with full rank up and the normal Madoka at level 1. So a lot of people ask me, do I need to R6 Madoka? In my opinion, it's a very good R6 unit to have because attack scales very well with Madoka. So if anything, you could pull multiple times on Madoka banner, or you could use bonbons. But for collaborations, I will always recommend that you pull instead, because first of all, the pity is only 90 instead of 200, and also when you get a Madoka in the banner and you reach pity, it doesn't reset when you exchange for Madoka, versus 200. If you go to 200 pulls on a normal banner, you don't get the unit. You exchange it, that 200 pity points is gone, right? So it's different in that regard. But for Madoka, let's take a look. Someone in chat asked me about the skin. So basically, it's free. You just click on this, and you'll be able to access the ultimate Madoka skin. I won't spoil the story, but watch the anime if you haven't. Check out the movie, it's fantastic. But yeah, I do rarely stream, so this is quite rare, and thanks for the 100 people that did turn up on basically a moment's notice. So shout outs to you guys for being there. But if you turn on the notification bell and subscribe, YouTube should tell you when I'm live. So back to Madoka. So this is my build, and I'll go over why I have it the way she is in terms of stats. So of course, max unique equipment, and I'll have another video on unique equipment guides, basically talking about how much resource you need to commit. But just know that if you're a free-to-play player, you can max the UE as well as the skill chips, basically for Madoka. If you're only focused on one unit, basically up to 3 units you can max everything. It's only if you want to max all 4 units, then you need to do some calculation, which again I'll talk about in a separate video. But back to Madoka. This is my Madoka. So you may see the attack stat and the crit damage stat and think, oh, my Madoka is higher in terms of attack and crit damage. That's fine, because I didn't build it specifically for outputting the highest damage, because she's got 85% penetration. The unit is gonna die when she attacks, right? So I'm gonna show you a little sauce in why the Madoka is built the way she is. And of course, I don't have the best gear because I took a break in farming Centaur, but this is the stats I am satisfied with. And I can see that Ether Star is here. He is gonna be our biggest rival in NA for guild versus guild, but I'm showing all the secrets right now on stream. So 6200 attack, I think 6000 attack minimum, and then crit damage 300 minimum. Though those are the defensive stats you should get. Mine's a bit low in terms of crit damage, but I think my attack is okay in the sense that it boosts itself to 6.2k, right? So it's okay. I wish it was higher, but maybe I'll do some casting. The two things that people often ignore is speed and defense. So my speed is 188, which is quite fast for Madoka, right? Because I'm using a speed boot, a speed set, but no, I think I have one speed substat. Yeah, 15.1. And I made it specifically higher than 181. And I'll tell you guys the reason why. It's because I'm prepping for 2, if not 3 metas ahead. Okay, this is big brain time. I do have the opportunities to look at the CN and the JP meta. And right now, Madoka is somewhat countered by later Yui, who is also countered by Homura, so you don't have to deal with that. But also, because we don't have Claris, Madoka is a bit weaker on the global server compared to the JP or CN server, because they have Claris. Claris gives Madoka attack and crit damage buff and an AB push, action bar push. So it's not an extra turn, and Homura completely destroys the extra turn mechanic. So what I have instead is a fast enough Madoka that if my Timmy goes with the S3 to push, Madoka will go right after, right? That's why it's capped at 188 plus the R4 Phantom that I have. I'm gonna be hitting 200. You want to be 185 plus to be safe if you have an R1 Phantom, but you can make some look at the action bar potential. But I made mine super fast so that I'm unaffected by Homura completely. So I don't care about Homura at all. I don't care if Madoka doesn't get the extra turn because she is going to go after Timmy, right? So I don't need the extra turn specialist. And a lot of people run Madoka with attack buffers, but a well-built Madoka is able to kill without an attack buff, which I'll show you. And then on the defense side, I have around 1600 defense. So this is in preparation for Ayame. So Ayame later on will be a unit that will counter Madoka because Madoka is so rampant in cleave that it's basically unstoppable and everything's almost a coin flip. So you want Madoka to have some defense, and plus her unique equipment gives herself 30% damage reduction, okay? 30% damage reduction in the first turn. So coupled with the defense, she's going to be very resilient and hard to kill. And I see a lot of you guys have questions in the chat. I'll address it at the end after recording this video. So this is my Madoka, tanky, fast to be unaffected by extra turn, going right after Timmy, and enough damage, offensive stats. Okay, so let's take her to PvP. So before we get into PvP, all right, let me show you guys something because my PvP rating is gonna be shit. I was putting Bonbon XL into defense to troll. So just look at this frame, okay? This frame says I am top 3 last season, okay? So I know what I'm talking about, but my rating is gonna suck right now, okay? So don't laugh at me. I'm down all the way down to 35. Let's find like a real person. This must be a real person, right? Okay. So this is like replicated. I might lose this speed RNG because there's still speed RNG even with Phantom R6. So what I'll do is I'll refresh using gems, and we can fight a. Is everyone running this right now? Because I wanted to showcase fighting a defensive stall team. If we can find one. Like ideally a Homura team. Let's see. Oh my god. Just find me a Homura. Okay, fine. I'll just showcase against a bot. And I'll show you, this is actually one of my favorite teams to run at the moment. And I'll show you guys the stats. So, this is my Timmy. Okay, I'll explain everything in super details and why things are made the way they are. It's gonna cuck my own PvP group because people are just gonna... I mean, sharing knowledge is good in my opinion, but yeah, I'm gonna lose a lot of defense now. But anyhow, so this is my Timmy, okay? Near max speed, so 16, 16, 16, 15.8. I do have a 15.9 I can put on, but I'm just waiting for another 16. There's no point for me to add a 0.1 when I can just get a 0.2 upgrade. So 16, right? I have one 15.8, which I can replace right now with this 15.9, but I'm just waiting for 16. And 35 is flat. So at max speed, Timmy is 26.3.75 actually. But it's still within the speed RNG. But notice how I kept the HP. So Timmy is level 51, okay? Not max level, and the HP is at 9.2k. So my other units are 10k, and then Timmy will have the lowest HP. This is to deal with AIs that target lowest HP, absolute lowest HP. So this is a bait, basically. And then this is my Lila. You probably have seen my Lila. And then, yeah, I don't think my Lila is anything special. Ideally, I would have wanted 6k attack, and then 350, but I made my Lila a bit tanky, so that'll be that. Phantom, I just put the free gear on her. Phantom just is there for the speed imprint, but let's go and I'll show you guys how this team functions. This team is built to deal with Homura teams and later on the extra turn mechanic team. So you can see here that my Madoka is at 74%, okay? Even with speed RNG, Madoka will never be lower at 70%, which means that this push, 30% action bar push, will always make it so that Madoka goes next, okay? And now Madoka goes, and think of this team as like a quad degen stall team. So what will happen is my Madoka would use S3, okay? It's gonna crit on a lot of the units, which makes my Lila go into S2 and then into S3, and then my Phantom will go. This basically ensures that nothing survives, because sometimes you can have a unit that lives, but it really doesn't matter when you have these follow-up. Nothing lives this 1-2-3 tap, and it ignores Homura as well, because Homura is essentially not going to take effect because Homura will die to the Madoka S3, because I'm not triggering an extra turn. Madoka gets naturally pushed to take her turn next, right? So that's why I have Madoka at her speed and sacrificing a lot of damage. So if the opponent doesn't have Homura, then it's very easy for me to just use Alice. So Homura, I think, for defense is a must, especially when Yui gets released next month in October. You'll have to deal with that. So the only way to challenge it is basically a speed contest. I think the speed contest is the best way to challenge it, but I also have a team that counters it. I'll probably make a different video on it though, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I really want to see if I can find like a defensive team. Like just super tanky, but it seems like everyone has switched to Ultra Cleave, right? Oh no, like this team is fine. Be okay to cleave that. But yeah, I don't think I can meet anyone. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Okay, so maybe here. Maybe here. So hopefully this team is tanky. And then the rest is just coin flip. We'll see here that the Jessie has 29k. Oh, Louisa is just gonna die. Yeah, the rest is not that tanky. So basically speed push into cleave into this, and if they didn't die, Lila would have S2'd into S3. So that's that. And next time I'll have a speed contest comp where we actually don't need to take there are two ways to deal with it, actually. One way is just to speed contest, but not using Timmy, which I can show you guys. And then the other way is we can just oh, that's a rip. And the other way is just we can basically use bruisers as well. So that's another way. But pretty much right now, the meta is just going to be coin flips, right? Which is why I think, personally, I don't like this meta very much. So against this team, what I would do is use Homura. So I can show you Homura. Homura prevents this thing from happening. Let me see. But I'll save that for another video. But you understand what I'm talking about and why my Madoka is the stat she is instead of just all-out defense. Because what I can do is just swap Lila with an Alice. So basically, what is going to be flex is Lila's spot, right? In the attack. So Lila's spot is going to be flex in the sense that this spot you use a unit depending on situation. So if the other person is using Alice, you run Homura. If the other person is using a defensive team, you can do Lila or use Alice. That also works. But it's super flex, and because you have a Madoka that doesn't rely on extra turn mechanic, you can deal with Homura comps. I'll show you guys how to deal with the comp I have. by using units that naturally counters Timmy, but I'll save that for a different video. This video is already 15 minutes, so I will stop it there and see you guys in the next video.